years had gone by. Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the mountains a little bit more, and the rain brought down some of the dirt. Some babies that weren't even born before have begun talking regular sentences. And a number of people who thought they were right, young, and spry have found out they can't bound up a flight of stairs like they used to. Well, without their heart fluttering a little bit. Yes, all that can happen in 1,000 days. Nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways too. A number of young people fell in love and got married. Yes, the mountains got bit away a few fractures of an inch, millions of gallons of water went up the mill, and here and there a new home is set under a roof. Almost everybody in the world gets married. You know what I mean? In our town, there are hardly any exceptions. Almost everybody climbs into their graves married. The first act was called the day of life. This act is called love and marriage. Here's another act coming after this. I reckon you can guess what that's about. So, it's 3 years later. It's July 7th, 1904, just after high school commencement. You know, that's the time most of our young people jump up and get married anyway. As soon as they pass their last examinations in solid geometry and Cicero's orations, looks like they suddenly feel themselves fit to be married. It's early morning. Only this time, it's been rainy. It's been pouring and thundering. Mrs. Gibbs' garden, Mrs. Webb's here, drenched. All those pea vines and the bean holes just drenched. All yesterday, off down the street looked like curtains being blown along. It may begin any minute. There it is. We can hear the 5:45 for Boston. There's Mrs. Gibbs and Mrs. Webb coming downstairs to make breakfast just as though it were an ordinary day. I have to point out to the women in the audience that the ladies they see before them both cook 3 meals a day. One of them for 20 years and the other one for 40. And no summer vacations. They brought up 2 children apiece, washed, cleaned the house, and never had a nervous breakdown. It's like what one of those Middle West poems say. You've got to love life to have life. But you got to have life to love life. That's what they call a vicious circle.
Giddy up, Bessie.
Here comes Howie Newsom delivering the mail. And there's Cy Crowd delivering the paper like his brother performed.
Morning, Howie.
Morning, Cy. You need a paper out,
Nothing much. Except for losing the best baseball pitcher Grover's Corners ever had, George Gibbs.
Reckon he is.
He could hit and run bases too.
That's a mighty fun ball. Whoa, Bessie. I guess I can stop and talk about mine too.
I don't see how we can give up a thing like that just to get married. Would you, Howie?
Can't tell, son. Never had no fun that way. There are pros and bills.
Seeing if there's anything I can do to prevent a flood. The river's been rising all night.
That crowd's all worked up here about George Gibbs retiring from baseball.
Yes, sir. That's the way it goes. Back in '84, we had a player, Cy. Even George Gibbs couldn't touch him. Name of Hank Todd. He went down to make become a Parson. Wonderful ball player. How's that weather look to you?
It ain't bad. I think they go through.
Good morning, Holly. Do you think it's going to rain again?
Good morning. It rained so heavy, I think they go through.
Certainly hope it will.
How much do you want today?
I'm having a house full of this. I'll say 3 minutes to 3.
My wife says to tell you, we both hope they'll be very happy with the deal. No, they will.
Tell your wife I hope she makes it to the wedding.
Yes, she'll be there. She'll be there if she can. Good morning, Mrs. Webb.
Good morning, Mr. Newsom. I told you 4 cups of milk, but I hope you can spare me another.
Yes,
Will it rain again, Mr. Newsom?
well, just saying to Mrs. Gibbs, that's all I'm hoping. Mrs. Newsom told me to tell you, I told them both hope they'll be very happy, Mrs. Webb. No, they will.
Thank you. And thank Mrs. Newsom, and we're counting on seeing you at the wedding.
Yes, we both hope to get there, Mrs. Webb. We couldn't miss that. Come on, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day has come. You're losing one of your chicks.
Oh, Frank Gibbs don't say another word. I feel like crying every minute.
Room's up shaving himself. Going in an awful lot of shade. Oh, whistling and singing like these blacks and these bloods. Every now and then I hear himself saying to himself in the mirror, I do. But it don't sound that convincing to me. my wedding morning, Julia.
Don't start that, my kids.
I was the scariest young fella in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I made a mistake for sure. Then I seen you walking down that aisle and I thought you were the prettiest girl I ever saw. But the only trouble was I never seen you before. Then I was standing in the congregational church marrying a total stranger.
And Frank, how do you think I felt? Weddings are perfectly awful things. Farts. That's what they are. Here, I made something for you.
Why, Julia, I see French toast.
That ain't hard to make. I had to do something.
I just think that's nice, Julia.
I heard most of the hours struck off.
Yes. I get a shock every time I think of George leaving out to be a family man. Oh, that great gangling thing. I tell you, Julia, ain't nothing more terrifying in the world as a son. The relation of a father and son is the darnest opposite.
Well, mother and daughter's no picnic, let me tell you.
Oh, they had their troubles, I suppose, but that's none of our business. Everybody has the right to their own troubles.
Yes, people are meant to go through life 2 by 2. It ain't natural to be lonesome.
Julia, you want to know one of the things I was scared of when I first married you?
Oh, go along, Frank.
I was afraid we wouldn't have material for conversation that lasted more than a few weeks. I thought we would run off and get our meals in silence, and that's a fact. Well, been conversing with you for 20 years now, but I mean, those are boring skills.
Well, good weather, bad weather, that ain't their choice, but I always find something to say. Did you hear Rebecca upstairs turning around?
No. Only the idea she is managing everybody else's business. She's hiding her room. I got the impression she's crying.
For sakes, this has got to stop. Rebecca! Rebecca!
Good morning, everybody. Only 5 more hours to live.
George Gibbs, where do you think you're going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
Not without putting on your overshoes. It's raining torrents. You don't go out this house without you prepared for it.
It's just
A step, George. You let your mother tell you.
Because the devil is calling a pop off the service. After, from tomorrow on, you can kill yourself in all ways. But when you're in my house, you'll live wisely. Thank you. Maybe Mrs. Webbs used to call us at 7 in the morning. Here, take a cup of coffee.
I'll be back in a minute.